Hello everybody, here is a very nice topic today we are going to discuss some hidden secrets of infinity. This is very interesting and good topic for calculus students, engineering students and as well as IT students. What is infinity and what are the hidden secrets of an infinity and how we can deal the infinity, where it occurs, where it happen, infinity, where you use this one, and when the infinity will involve in calculation, how we will deal with this infinity. Usually when we draw a real line, here is something 0 and here are the positive real numbers over this, and at the end we will sometimes write plus infinite, and similarly on the left hand side we will write minus infinite. What is meant by the infinite, positive infinite or minus infinite? It is simply a very large real number, something very large. It is something very large when you are dealing with. Also we can say that when we will talk about minus infinite, we may say that it is something very not small, very large, but with negative impression. If we want to understand the concept of minus infinity, it is same, something like this. Here we have plus 10 and on the left hand side we have minus 10. Here is 100 and on the left hand side we have minus 100. 1000 and here is minus 1000. And similarly when we will move away from 0, it is something much away from 0. It is a something that is much away from 0. Or in other words, what we can say that, we simply say that every real number R is always less than this one, and every real number it is greater than this one. So it has very interesting when it will involve in calculations. It has very different to deal. For example, when you will add plus infinite in any real number, you will simply obtain plus infinite. And when you will add two infinities, again you will have some infinite number. And similarly, when minus infinite is added to some real number, you will simply have minus infinite. When it is multiplied by some real number, again you will have minus infinite. So very interesting calculations with when you will deal with infinite, you usually get the same answer. But when you will multiply minus infinite by something negative real number, you may have plus infinite answer. Okay? Now, when infinite will play its role, when 0 is multiplied by plus infinite. Now, very interesting case generated here. When 0 is multiplied by plus infinite. 0 is actually a real number. When it is multiplied by any real number, you will have the answer 0. But plus infinite is the thing that when it is multiplied by any real number, you will have plus infinite. So, what we have now, it is the interesting case. And what is the hidden behind this? The hidden secret of this multiplication is that if 0 is more powerful, then the final answer will be 0. And if plus infinity is more powerful, then infinite is the resultant of the question. Now, what is meant by the more powerful and how we can deal? For example, we have x multiplied by e raised to power minus x, and we have limit x goes to infinite. And what we have now, since it is, we can write it as x over e raised to power x, we may write it as x, and limit x goes to infinite. When we will apply limit over this x, we simply have plus infinite, and when we will apply limit e raised to power x, we get 1 over infinite and we have 0. So here is the case of plus infinite multiplied by 0. It is the situation now. Now, what will happen? What will be the answer of the limit? It is very interesting for calculus students. We can see that there is a big difference between x and e raised to power x. When limit x goes to infinite, the growth rate of this x is simply slow. However, when x goes to infinite, the growth rate of this exponential function is very high. So we can say that here 0 in x over e raised to power x, this is more powerful, or we can say that 0 is the most powerful case. 0 is the more powerful here. So the final result will be the C. So similarly, we can say, we can generate some other situation. Hopefully we will give some more videos over this topic. Thank you for watching the video.